Alright, so let's take a look at this match from WCE in Wisconsin. Vindication 2 event for the RCW World Underground Championship. This is Shawn Jovi taking on Nicholas Crenson in this contest. And again, editing, presentation, always a 10 with these guys. These guys always deliver on just beautiful production quality. And we got good contact starting off with the kick to the leg. I think a little bit more hip twist would have sold a little better on how much damage is done for that sell by Shawn. We're going for definitely a knuckle lock. He kicks him again. A little bit more intensity there, I would say. But so far contact is good, which is a plus. And we're gonna light him up there. Very nice. Nice, good fire up. Shawn Jovi gonna go for the plex here. A little bit of jostle there, but that was okay. Very nice. Good bump there. Gonna go for the cover. We are right near the ropes, and here's my first problem with this match. Nothing was done, in my opinion, to the level that would justify a rope break needed there. I would have just kicked out. That was nice. That leg grapple and then jerk right over the rope was nice. This is a great follow-up. And I will say that the sequence that you're watching now, where Nick is just tearing into the leg, is just well done. And it's followed up on pretty good through this match. But I like that he stayed on it. I would have been a little bit more faster with all this, seeing as how we're just in the opening minute of the match. We're like in the opening, literally within 2 minutes of the offset of this match at this point. I mean, this all needs to be done ferociously and fast. Although I did like this, a very nice kind of like leg scissor there, with the toe locked on the arm. It's very nice. Well, it's well locked in. That would constitute, after the damage done, that does constitute a rope break, which makes sense. Now, commentary needs to be careful here because it was saying that the elbow strike was to the face. No, it is to the head, the skull, the temple would have been appropriate. That's how I would have called it. And I've done a lot of commentary. That was beautiful. Good follow-up DDT there. Again, I don't know that I would have gone for a DDT there. I think I would have done like a leg clip and just kept staying on that leg. The best technicians really stay on that leg. Good running senton. Goes for the cover. And then also the fact that I think, going for an arm here, trying to scissor in the arm. I would have stayed on the leg. Watching this, to me, this was not needed. But I mean, it is at least a hold. At least they're applying holds, which is good. Which I don't see a lot of people commit to holds. These had decent contact. Although, again, we're only in the opening minutes of this match. I think the intensity needs to be turned up. That was nice. That I liked. That is what I'm talking about. That was good. It was for a nice little sudden drop splash. No jump there, but it doesn't always have to be. I thought that was fine. Style-wise, it works, so I don't see a problem with it. Following up with a Boston Crab, very nicely applied. Beautiful form, gets the rope break, very nice. Goes the outside. This was unbelievable. That right there was a thing of beauty. That was a suicide dive. However, here comes another issue I have with this match. The issue that Nick is getting up first after that. That was beautiful contact. There's no sell on that. And then Nick tries it, can't execute it, or rather, I don't know if that was intended, but it was a bad look. He made good contact with the jump from the apron, the clothesline. Guys, just editing, cut all this out. I would have cut every bit of this out and just gone to a replay and come back to this. They're brawling the outside. Needed more head contact on that DDT on the apron. Beautiful contact there. Goes to the cover. You got a 1, 2, and yes, that was a good shoulder up right there. Good. He's going back to the leg here, which I was happy to see in this match. And yes, good use of the rope break there. This was an issue. It's okay to go to a headlock just for communication and transition, but don't make the communication that blatant. Is what my critique there would be. This was a beautiful counter. This was really good. I loved the way that looked. That it was just like a straight face dump. However, I think this cover was a little just too obvious. He should have grabbed the arm and had him fight for the rope break. hook the leg, things like that. I haven't seen a lot of that in this match. That was good. A good follow-up on the splash. It's like party time in the ring with Shawn Jovi. I love it. Style-wise, everything's been good style-wise. Contact has been decent. I would have taken that cannonball from a different angle, like more of I would have taken it from the hard cam where we get to see the actual flight, but I mean, I'm okay with it as long as contact was there. Spine buster follow-up there. I would have taken that from a different angle. I like this cover. That was a justified kick out. Beautiful contact on that. I think Nick went down a little too early, started to try to take the bump too early there. I would have let it make contact before I went for the bump. Good contact on these. A little bit more ferocious, but it's not the speed. It's just I like to see a little bit more heavy, handed slogging with the fatigue in there. This was nice. Beautiful ref down right there. Referee is down. Beautiful counter follow-up with a roaring elbow straight to the lower jaw. Very nice as Shawn is immediately forced off, and he attacks the leg again, which I love. That was very good, and the fact that he's getting the correct leg, very nice, staying on that leg. Beautiful follow-up there. I think commentary should have sold the fact that Shawn blocked that shot, because it would have made this make sense all the more. If someone was just struck by a knee, mind you, and you got Nick over there trying to get the ref up, then this would have made sense. Him getting up to immediately nail Nick, and then follow up to go ahead and finish with the beautiful arm extension on that twisting face buster right there. Look at this right here. 1, 2, and 3, and that is your finish. There were some psychology issues in this match, so I'm going to be at a 3.8. Let's just work on the storytelling aspect of these matches. I recommend when you set up a spot, start asking, how do we get there? How do we get out of it? How much time has passed? How much damage has been done? Have I sold enough incapacitation before I get back up? Just different things, Why am I getting up before my opponent if my opponent just took me down with a devastating move? Has enough time passed for me to be doing this? And if you want to keep up with the aftermath as well as the latest in underground and backyard wrestling, tune in to SportsWire Radio's broadcast live on YouTube featuring the Reverend Tom Brice along with Taff Taylor. And check out the Nemesis Sessions as well, where you can catch all the exclusive interviews with all the wrestlers featured on the Copper Star Reviews. #AllWrestlingMatters.